Hey, stories of the Soul Fam. We've got a swoon-worthy love story for you today. Let's jump in and tell us. My name is Monica. For most of my life, I believed I was lucky. I had a husband, Carl, who had once adored me, a nice apartment in the city, a job that gave me purpose. But nothing lasts forever. Age crept in slowly, like an invisible thief, and one day, almost overnight, I became older. Carl started coming home later. He no longer asked me how my day was. His eyes moved over me like I was furniture. And then, one night, I followed him, my trembling fingers clutching my phone, my heart thudding in my chest. He was at a hotel bar. He had his arm draped over a girl half my age, a girl with flawless skin and the kind of careless, glowing beauty I used to have. I approached. "Carl, what are you doing here?" He smiled, his politician smile. "Monica, hello sunshine. I have a business meeting here. This is my personal assistant." "Personal assistant," I echoed. "You always kiss your assistant on the lips." Kylie, she introduced herself like a model on a runway, just sat there, smiling. Carl sighed. "Okay, straight up. She's my mistress." The words fell like glass shattering. "I loved you in the past," he continued, "but with Kylie. She gives me things you can't anymore. She's beautiful. You're not. Not like before. You're older now. I need beauty, Monica. Youth. I can't get that from you anymore." I just stood there, numb. That night I drank martinis at the bar until the room blurred. I didn't even call Jim, my oldest friend. He had always been there, kind, steady Jim, but tonight I wanted only to disappear. And then I heard the strangest thing. A voice, not from a person next to me, but from the television over the bar. It was an infomercial, cheap graphics, a tacky jingle. "Did your husband leave you for someone younger? Did life steal your beauty? Dial 666 and make your dreams come true." I blinked. The announcer said my name. "Monica, that can't be again." "That's right, Monica. We can give you youth. We can give you what you desire most. Call now." I stared at my drink. Either I was drunk or something far darker was happening. But the voice wouldn't stop. Finally, with a bitter laugh, I pulled out my phone and dialed 666. A voice answered immediately, smooth, warm, and dangerous. "Welcome, Monica. Which body would you like to choose?" "What?" I whispered. "Name the body you desire. We'll do the rest." My mind flashed to Kylie, the girl whose skin glowed like polished gold under the bar lights. "I want her body," I said. "Excellent choice. Terms and conditions. Soul transfers are not. Your original body will disappear as if it never existed. Press 1 to confirm." I hesitated. I remembered Carl's words, his contempt. I remembered the feel of wrinkles at the corners of my eyes. I pressed 1. A sudden rush, like cold air through my veins, and then nothing. When I opened my eyes, I was in a hotel bathroom. I looked in the mirror. Kylie's face stared back at me. Her hair, her skin, her lips, her body. I laughed, a wild, desperate sound. That night, Carl took me to bed, thinking I was still his mistress. His hands roamed my skin hungrily. "Better than your wife," I whispered. He laughed. "With my wife. You're crazy. You're my fiancé, I had one. Or so I thought." For weeks afterward, I lived in a haze of champagne and designer clothes. Carl worshipped me again, not knowing he was worshipping his own wife. When I walked past mirrors, I felt a thrill. Youth, beauty, desire all mine. Then one morning, the television flickered on by itself. "Hello, Monica," said the same infomercial host, smiling too wide. "Are you happy with everything?" "Of course I am," I said aloud. "It was the best decision of my life." "Are you sure?" "What do you mean? Look behind the door." I turned. Carl was in the next room, kissing another woman. "Again, no," I whispered. The screen laughed softly. "A cheater will always be a cheater, darling." My perfect body felt suddenly cold. I called the number. "Give me back my old body. I don't want this anymore. I just want me." "Sorry," said the silky voice. "The old Monica doesn't exist anymore. Only you remember her. What am I supposed to do?" "Maybe," said the voice, "you should think about the person who's always been there for you." And then the line went dead. I thought of Jim, patient, kind Jim, who had listened to my complaints for years, who had told me Carl didn't deserve me, who had offered to take me to the Chinese restaurant around the corner that night, and I had refused. I realized what I'd done. I had traded my soul not to be loved, but to be wanted, by a man who had never truly loved me. That evening, I found Jim at the same bar where it had all begun. "Jim," I said, and my voice shook. "I did something really stupid back at this bar, and I'm not really like that. But I know you. You've always been there for me, and I really like you." He blinked. "Wow, I didn't see that coming. There's a great Chinese restaurant around the corner," I said softly. "Do you want to go?" He smiled. "You know I love that place." We walked out together. For the first time since the night of the deal, I felt something stir inside me. Not desire, not vanity, something quieter. Hope. But the story didn't end there. Weeks passed. Jim and I spent more time together. He didn't know who I really was. He only knew the beautiful stranger who had walked into his life. But he liked me for my laughter, for my stories, for the way I listened. And slowly, I began to understand what the infomercial voice had hinted at. Smart men aren't attracted to a body, they're attracted to the soul. But what if I no longer had one? At night, I dreamed of my old self Monica, with crow's feet and tired eyes, but a real soul. The woman Jim had known. One evening, as we cooked dinner together in his small apartment, the television flickered on. The infomercial host was back, grinning like a demon. "Hello, Monica," he purred, "enjoying your new life." "I want my soul back," I said. "I've learned my lesson. I want to be me again." He chuckled. "You can't unmake a deal with darkness, darling. There must be a way." "There is." He leaned closer to the camera. "Deceive the devil himself. How? He winked, and the screen went dark. That night, I made a plan. Carl had arranged to meet me, his fiancée, at a hotel. I went, but not for him. As soon as he left for the shower, I called 666 again. Operator, I whispered, I want to transfer this body to someone else. I want out. Silence. Then, clever girl, a rush of air, colder than before. The lights flickered. When I opened my eyes, I was standing in the street outside the hotel. My hands, my old hands, my reflection in a window, my old face. Inside, Carl shouted. A woman screamed. I walked away. That was the last time I ever saw Carl. Jim was waiting for me at the Chinese restaurant. He looked up, startled. Monica, it's really me, I said. I've done terrible things. I traded my soul for a body I thought would make me loved, but I don't want to be that person anymore. I just want to be me. With you, he stood, came around the table, and took my hand. You should have told me sooner. I never cared about how you looked. I cared about you. I started to cry. Do you still? Yes, he said simply, and for the first time in months, I felt warm again. We ate together, laughed together, and later we walked under the city lights, two ordinary people. No more demons. No more deals. But sometimes, late at night, when the house is quiet, I hear a faint voice from the television. Welcome back, Monica. You outsmarted us once, but remember, the screen flickers and then goes dark. I turn to Jim, who sleeps peacefully beside me. I made a deal with darkness to be loved. In the end, darkness lost, because I finally understood. Love isn't about bodies, it's about souls. And that's one thing even the devil can't counterfeit.